In New Zealand, MedSafe's Edition 3.0 Pharmacovigilance framework replaces passive data storage with an active, risk-based signal management system. This requirement is codified in Section 41 of the Medicines Act 1981, which identifies the sponsor as the statutory agent responsible for reporting untoward effects. The framework directs data to two distinct endpoints. Raw adverse reaction reports flow to the New Zealand Pharmacovigilance database, while critical safety issues are reported directly to MedSafe. Adhering to these standards requires a localized architecture capable of meeting New Zealand's specific regulatory thresholds. This structure is built on three pillars: validating individual case safety reports, localized literature monitoring, and a specialized safety triage system. A failure to maintain this localized system affects the product's benefit-risk profile and its legal status to remain on the market. The first phase of the pipeline involves validating raw reports into official individual case safety reports, or ICSRs. For spontaneous reports, the threshold for suspicion is low. MedSafe considers all unsolicited reports to be suspected adverse reactions unless the reporter explicitly excludes a causal relationship. In contrast, solicited reports from studies or registries only enter the pipeline if the sponsor or investigator determines a positive correlation exists. This validation gate illustrates the four data pillars required for a valid report. Missing one element triggers rejection. First, an identifiable reporter and one identifiable patient. Second, at least one suspect medicine and a suspected reaction. Invalid cases are withheld nationally but retained internally for broader safety evaluations. Adhering to this four-point validation prevents database contamination while ensuring the sponsor maintains total systemic awareness of potential risks. The second input vector for the pipeline is the monitoring of scientific and medical literature. MedSafe requires sponsors to conduct these reviews at least once every 3 months after a medicine is placed on the market. This 3-month interval differs from the weekly cycles required by Australia's TGA and the EMA. A geographic filter isolates cases within New Zealand. Unnamed brands are reportable only if the sponsor's product was used locally. For publications involving multiple medicines, only those the author directly links to the adverse reaction are processed. These unique cadences and geographic filters require sponsors to run New Zealand compliance as a separate operation from their global literature sweeps. Beyond collection, the framework mandates a signal management process to transform raw data into intelligence. This engine processes signals justifying further verification. Chamber 1, detection, identifies anomalies. Chamber 2, validation, evaluates clinical relevance and biological plausibility. Chamber 3, analysis and prioritization, ranks validated signals by public health impact. Chamber 4, assessment, synthesizes pharmacological data to determine if formal regulatory action is required. This internal process runs alongside MedSafe's early warning system, which communicates concerns via monitoring or alert notices. A monitoring notice indicates a signal is under investigation, whereas an alert notice signifies a confirmed causal link between the medicine and the reaction. An effective internal engine identifies these risks before they reach the level of an external MedSafe alert, allowing for proactive risk management. Confirmed signals enter the final phase of the pipeline, the issue triage protocol. MedSafe requires routing issues into two categories: significant safety issues and other safety issues, OSIs. An SSI impacts the benefit-risk balance immediately, including market withdrawals or falsified medicines, and must be reported within 72 hours. Other safety issues are confirmed concerns not meeting urgent criteria, reported within 30 days. Both categories bypass the raw data intake at CARM and are sent directly to MedSafe's Clinical Risk Management branch. This triage structure requires compliance officers to apply rapid clinical judgment to separate routine monitoring from critical escalations. The completed pipeline connects raw inputs to the signal engine, terminating in a specific reporting pathway. If the pipeline identifies a critical risk, the sponsor may be required to issue a Dear Healthcare Professional letter. These letters must follow a specific template and be submitted to MedSafe for pre-approval before they are distributed. If MedSafe identifies a risk that the sponsor failed to detect, they can trigger a review of the medicine's safety and efficacy. Under Section 36, sponsors have 60 days to provide evidence justifying their product's safety before MedSafe imposes supply restrictions. The most severe regulatory action is provided by Section 35, which allows for the revocation or suspension of consent to distribute the medicine. Building this robust system ensures that the sponsor maintains a highly self-regulating safety architecture tailored specifically to New Zealand requirements. Mastering Edition 3.0 provides a risk-weighted architecture that protects a product's market viability in New Zealand.